Pantazi. The last segment we did on the Bon Sao, which is this action from Wing Chun Kung Fu, from Nahanchi, from many karate styles. It's the leveraging arm that we covered. Now, I showed you an application with that, and we did a training device in our training methodology and some stunning on the nerves with the technique. Okay, and that was on the extended videos. But this week I want to cover another aspect of the Bon Sao. Again, many people don't see the yin and the yang of what they're studying. They only see what's presented to them at face value. Kyusho helps you dig inside the technique, just like we dig inside the human body to affect the weaker anatomical structures, the physiology, and the functionality. Well, if you look at Wing Chun, many people see that it stemmed from the white crane. But what they don't realize that there was a black snake involved as well, because the nun Nigme that invented this style, or created this style, or founded this style, watched a crane fighting a snake. All right, so many people don't put the snake attribute or the ideology of the snake into their techniques. So today we're going to use the Bon Sao, but we're going to be using it in a constrictive method, much like a snake would do. Now, many people know that the snake will jart out, and you can see that in Bill G as you're doing this movement or this whatever movement you're doing, and they understand that to be maybe the snake. Okay, but that's the extent they go. They don't go into the grappling aspects or the constrictive aspects that the snake brings to the fighting arena. So maybe we've locked into the person. Instead of getting a one-sided clinch position as you entered in on your opponent, maybe you pak-saoed the hand away, or maybe you bon-saoed the hand away and then got into that grab. We went into that leverage. Okay, this time maybe you pak-saoed and you got in with both hands on both sides of the shoulders for it as an example. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into that Bon Sao. So that Bon Sao can now come across the back of the neck, getting the head into a headlock with your hand, protective hand, or your centerline hand, pushing the head against that headlock technique to close off the blood flow in the carotid sinus. All right, that's one application. But on the way in, there's many different techniques that we can accomplish as well. Now, I've done this in prior films, so I'm going to give you a film in a clip of that film in the extended versions. But what we do is we use either the knuckle of this thumb here. This is called the iron bone hand of the Bubishi, a white crane technique. We're going to hit the occipital nerves in the back. Now, on the back of the skull, you have three major nerves that go up on either side of the back of the neck and the skull. One's called the lesser occipital nerve, one's called the greater occipital nerve, and one's called the least occipital nerve. They're all full nerves that you can strike and apply pressure to and cause weakening of the body, dysfunction of the body. You can also cause varying levels of dizziness or unconsciousness, loss of spatial control, loss of depth perception, many different things that this will do if struck or rubbed. Now, in this case, we're going to just work with the rubbing action. So I'm going to use the thumb. So as I've locked onto the opponent's shoulders, I'm going in with a rubbing action across the base of the skull, okay, to weaken the person. Once they're weakened, I put them into a constrictive movement where the center line protector, okay, is pushing against the face of the individual, pulling them into this arm, as this arm is now constricting on the carotid sinus to put the pressure in. And if done quickly, okay, like a wrapping action using this part of the bone, the knuckle to come across first on the nerves, Then the ulnar bone, or the radial bone is going to rub against the back of the skull there to get further dysfunction and loss of functionality. And then you're going to go into the choking technique. Now, if you want to cause serious damage, then you alter and go into the secondary bon sao here. That's going to put the pressure on the neck and make a full rotation of the head as you push the person's head this way and then turn it back going into another bon sao. What's going to happen is you're going to cause neck injury, possibly paralysis. So this is a very dangerous technique if applied fast and realistically. But it's great to know that you have that ability. And you don't have to break the person's neck or paralyze them. But if you just put the pressure on them, that's going to stop them. That's going to turn their whole body, flip them onto their back for a takedown. So again, look at the yin and the yang of everything you do in your style. The bon sao is no different. It has an offensive tool as well as the defensive tool. And you have to take the ideology of the both animals inherent in that style, and you have to apply it to everything you do in your Wing Chun. You have to have the crane techniques where you're throwing the strikes at the distance, okay? But then you also have to have the constriction of this snake. That's the full art. That's what Kyusho brings to you. In the extended version, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the nerves, the full anatomical breakdown. We're also going to show you the effects of attacking the occipital nerves. Everybody knows what happens when you do a blood choke on the carotid sinus, so there's no need to expound on that. But you'll see the technique being done in a classroom situation. You'll see the class also working with the technique a little bit, and then we'll go into the full incapacitations using that technique.